Hello, class. My name is Michael Boynton, and today I'll be presenting an analysis of The Wolf of Wall Street through the lens of complexity science and systems theory. We'll explore how the film's depiction of Stratton Oakmont, a high-flying brokerage firm, offers a vivid case study in complex adaptive systems and complex responsive processes. My goal is to bridge the gap between the theories we've studied in class and the real-world dynamics portrayed in this very iconic film. Introduction, just a little bit about me. My name is Michael Boynton, obviously. I'm a first year graduate student in the ALS department here at Texas State University. I also got my undergraduate degree here at Texas State with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with a minor in Applied Mathematics. So it's a little bit of a switch up here to now be a part of the ALS department, but I love it. Um, in my professional life, I manage a door-to-door sales team, so everything that I'm learning in my classes, I am directly applying to my job, especially over the summer when things start heating up. Um, why this film? I chose The Wolf of Wall Street because it kind of dramatizes the unpredictable, nonlinear nature of organizational life. The film's portrayal of rapid growth, emergent group behaviors, and chaotic decision making is a perfect fit for complexity science. It's also relevant to anyone interested in how organizations adapt, evolve, and sometimes spiral out of control under the influence of charismatic leaders like Jordan Belfort, and shifting cultural norms. For our class, it's a chance to see the abstract concepts we're kind of learning about play out in a real world inspired setting. Here's a bibliographic citation of the film. Some special features, like I just said, it's directed by Martin Scorsese and stars obviously Leonardo DiCaprio. There you can see as Jordan Belfort. And the film, if you have never seen it, it's kind of a memoir of Belfort's life and pretty dynamic story, pretty energetic into his crazy life that he once lived. Kind of just looks at the rise and fall of the notorious stockbroker, kind of offering a behind the scenes view of the financial world's darker side. In today's presentation, kind of give a brief summary of the film for those that have not seen it. We will then apply the complexity science concepts to the organization depicted in the film, Stratum and Oakmont, focusing on both the complex adaptive systems in the film and then as well as the complex responsive processes. Then just kind of then discuss facilitators and inhibitors of change in the film, and then kind of give my own conclusion and insights. Sorry. A brief summary of the film for those that haven't seen it. The Wolf of Wall Street follows Jordan Belfort, who is Leonardo DiCaprio in the film, is a young, ambitious stockbroker who starts his career at a prestigious Wall Street firm. After he loses his job in the 1987 market crash, he takes a position at a small penny stock brokerage where he quickly excels due to his very aggressive sales tactics. Belfort soon founded his own firm, Stratton Oakmont, with his friend Donnie Azoff, and the company grows explosively, fueled by high pressure sales, market manipulation, and a culture of excess. Employees are drawn into a world of drugs, parties, and moral compromise, and as Stratton Oakmont's success attracts the attention of regulators, the firm's internal dynamics become very chaotic. Um, Belfort's personal life unravels, company's legal activities eventually lead to FBI investigations, arrest, and eventually the collapse of the organization as a whole. The film chronicles not just Belfort's rise and fall, but also kind of the collective behaviors, so-called rituals, and the feedback loops themselves that drive the organization's evolution. So, what are some complex adaptive systems in the film? Um, Stratton Oakmont is kind of in my opinion, a textbook example of a complex adaptive system or CAS. First, we'll look at the system's agents, which includes individuals like Belfort and Azoff, which were kind of the two main characters, the sales teams themselves in the office, the managers, and external entities like the regulators. Each agent kind of acts based on the local information and incentives, but their interactions create larger patterns. Self-organization is evident in how the firm's culture and sales strategies kind of emerge organically. There aren't very many formal rules, but instead informal norms and charismatic leadership like Jordan Belfort will kind of shape the behavior of the company. For example, one of the infamous sales scripts and motivational rituals weren't imposed from above. They evolved as agents adapted to what worked. The container for the CAS, or complex adaptive system, is the high pressure, results driven environment. Coherent behaviors like aggressive sales tactics, risk taking, and group loyalty emerge as agents respond to incentives and peer influence. Um, Emergence is kind of seen in the normalization of the unethical behavior that kind of takes over the entire organization or Stratton Oakmont. As small rule bending actions are rewarded in a sense, they become widespread, leading to groupthink and a collective disregard for legal and ethical boundaries. If we examine the subsystems like the sales teams, the management, compliance, we see that they contribute to their own unique dynamics, but the interactions that generate the firm's overall behavior. As Stacy 2011 notes, organizations are not static machines, but living systems, constantly adapting to internal and external pressures. This also aligns with Sullivan's 2011 argument in Embracing Complexity that complex adaptive systems consist of heterogeneous agents whose evolving decisions and interactions lead to emergent properties, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Um, Stratton Oakmont's culture and operations clearly demonstrate that concept. Complex responsive processes are also pretty central to the film. Most of Stratton Oakmont's organizational knowledge is shared informally through conversations, motivational speeches in the office, and peer coaching. And these interactions drive the spread of both legitimate and pretty bad practices. Community and change are built through rituals and shared language and collective experiences. For example, the firm's meetings and celebrations create a sense of belonging, but they also enable rapid shifts in norms and behaviors and cause people to act pretty wild. Conflicting constraints are everywhere. Employees must balance loyalty to the group, but with personal ethics, and short-term financial gain with very long-term consequences because what they are doing is wrong. Inclusion and exclusion are managed through performance and conformity, and high performers are celebrated and included in the inner circle, while the underperformers are kind of marginalized, kind of amplifying anxiety and competition. Facilitators and inhibitors of change um, include charismatic leadership, such as Jordan Belfort, strong incentives, and a culture that rewards innovation and risk taking. These factors kind of drive that rapid adaptation and growth, allowing the firm to exploit new opportunities and outmaneuver their competitors, quickly going to the top. But these inhibitors are just as powerful. They they lack of ethical boundaries, weak regulatory oversight, and internal dissent kind of destabilize the system. And as the organization grows, its adaptive capacity is undermined by its own excess. The feedback loops just amplify risky behaviors until the collapse becomes inevitable at the end of the film. Conclusion and insights. In conclusion, The Wolf of Wall Street offers a pretty powerful lens for examining the dynamics of complex adaptive systems and complex responsive processes in organizations. The film's depiction of Stratton Oakmont illustrates how emergent behaviors, self-organization, and nonlinear interactions can drive both extraordinary success and ultimately catastrophic failure. By applying complexity science concepts, we gain a deeper understanding of the forces that shape organizational evolution and the critical importance of ethical leadership and adaptive capacity for long-term sustainability. Ultimately, in my opinion, the film kind of just reminds you that organizations are living systems in a sense, kind of shaped by the interactions of everybody in the organization, and that the feedback loops they create and the broader environment in which they operate is, detrimental or a big credit to the system itself. And here is my references.